Hello, everybody. What's today? Mr. Loris? Today's Tuesday. Hello, happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope you guys are having a great start to your week. My day is starting off a little crazy, okay? Hey, Teresa. Hey, Evangelist. Hello there. How are you? Hey, Lolita. Hello there. How are you? I was having a good day. These people over here on Beagle, y'all, they don't treat me how y'all treat me. It was a man over there all the way in Africa keep trying to hop up in my box, trying to talking about talk to me. Just threw me off. That's why I was late. I was ranting. Lord, y'all don't treat me so delicate over here. When I tell y'all I come over here to the projects with the Bigo people, this is the hood. Try to come here and be their news lady, and this is the things I get. Hey, Chris. Hello there. How are you? Grand Rising, everybody. I hope you guys had a great night. I had a great night. My morning started off okay, and we're getting there, okay? The world is a little bit in shambles, but I hope that you guys are managing. It's another true crime story, another day of craziness, another day of murder, talk, and just share the life to someone who cares about what's going on in the world, okay? Alrighty, guys, let's get into it. Oh, don't forget, get your Royal Lockbox letters in, okay? If you haven't done so, get your Royal Lockbox letters in. For those of you who do not know what the Royal Lockbox is, the Royal Lockbox is just a way for you to be able to vent whatever life is bringing you and put it into a box with no judgment. I will then read your letters. You can also put on your headline of your letter, "Savvy, lock me in the box." That means that you want to remain anonymous. Or you can put "unlock the box royalty" or "unlock the box savvy," however you want to say it, however you call me. It's up to you. And then you'll put that and I will be able to tell people who you are because you don't care about people knowing your story. I will then give you advice on your situation and your letter will disappear. But whatever was on your mind at the time will be off of your shoulders because we're living in a day. This show was created because we are living in a day where so many people are by themselves, especially since after the pandemic with no one to talk to. So the Royal Lockbox give you the time to kind of throw your thoughts in a box, let it go, talk about it, and move on with your everyday life. Um, so if you, hey Toya, if you want to get your letters in, just get them in. If we get enough by the end of the month, I will give you a Royal Lockbox show at the end of the month. If I don't get enough letters by the end of the month, I will move it to the middle of July, okay? As you guys know, I will be on vacay at the end of July, so I won't have the opportunity to do it for you at the end. So that's why it's at the middle. Now, after July into August, the end of August, it will be at the end of August, the last Saturday of the month. It will always be the last Saturday of the month, okay? So you guys will get a 2-for-1 combo. You'll get the Royal Lockbox back and you'll get your extra show, all right? As you guys was on the YouTube side of things asking me for a weekend show. So I'm just going to give you both with this, both at the same time. So get your Royal Lockbox letters in. If you don't have my email, it is savageroyaltyent@gmail.com. savageroyaltyent@gmail.com. Get your letters in, get your letters in, get your letters in. Where we're going, I'm going on the Royal Empire cruise. I'm taking a small group of supporters in preparation for me to have a bigger event next month. It's going to be next month. So I'm taking them on a cruise. And then next year I'm going to have my big extravaganza. Okay? That's what's going on. I will be documenting it. What's the Royal Lockbox for? The Royal Lockbox is just for you to vent whatever it's about. You can talk about your relationship, love, whatever you want to get off your mind, your job, your friendships, whoever you want to talk about, whatever you want to talk about. No topic is off limits. I've talked about marriage. I've talked about sexuality. I've talked about jobs and careers. I've talked about goals. I've talked about mental health. A lot of those things have been discussed within a Royal Lockbox. So no topic is off topic. And if you do remain anonymous, you remain anonymous forever. I will never speak on it, and nobody will never ever know that it's your story, but you're still able to get it off of your shoulders and just get you some outside advice without feeling like the judgment is there. Or, a lot of people don't like to talk about things because they're afraid of judgment or they don't know who to tell. So the lockbox allow you to separate yourself from that while also getting it off of you a little bit. As I said earlier, this was created in a way because mental health is at an all-time high. And so many people don't talk about their everyday problems. And so That's what the royal lockbox purpose is, just to allow you to let it out, just to let you let it out and move and groove and just take some weight off your shoulders a little bit. And I'll give you some old school advice. Yes, I am 39, but for those of you that did experience the royal lockbox, they can attest to the fact that it is not young advice. It's going to be some youthful advice with a little bit of wisdom to it. Okay. So just email savageroyaltyent@gmail.com. Savageroyaltyent. And mental health is definitely crazy. ENT@gmail.com. Okay. And I'll say the dates again just for anybody because I'm on Bigo and YouTube at the same time. If I get enough by the end of this month, I will give it to you at the end of the month. If I don't, it's going to be pushed into the middle of July. Just stay tuned to my YouTube as well as my spaces for the official announcement for the Royal Lockbox on where the first show will be. And if you are some of the first letters to get in, then you're going to be on the first show. Okay. And it is savageroyaltyent@gmail.com. For those that are on the Bigo side of things, just go to my Bigo ID, copy it, put ent@gmail.com. That's all you have to do. Copy my Bigo ID, put ent@gmail.com, and that's how you email me. All right, let's get into today's topic. Now, this topic here, guys, is about a Navy, a woman who was in the Navy, actually. What the world is going on? Why is this thing doing this? Give me 1 second, guys. This thing's acting crazy. So she actually was in the Navy and she was killed by another person that was in the Navy as well. She went missing, okay? And when she went missing, they ended up finding her body later. So let us get into those things. I just know I had a technical difficulty, guys. Give me 1 second. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. I don't know why my computer keeps doing that. I'm going to have to get it looked at. I really am. 1 second, guys. I don't know why my technical difficulties. Yeah, they always in my way all the time. Always, they're always in my way. I promise y'all. Alrighty, so let's get into the deets of today's topic. Okay, got the notes on something different today, but it's okay. Alrighty. Uh-oh. All right, y'all. So this is the case of Angelina Resendiz is her name, y'all. And this happened out there in Norfolk, Virginia. Norfolk, Virginia is where this happened at. And she disappeared on May the 29th. And her body was recovered on June the 9th. And her suspect, as of right now, it looks like there's someone that they really don't know who this guy is, actually. They don't know what their relationship is, where he possibly had came from, or how they connected in any way. So today we are going to get into all of the details, including the timeline, and we're going to be keeping very much close update on this. As you guys know, whenever I say I'm going to keep updated on it, we're going to also keep up with any small updates, but also follow all the way up to trial, okay? Now, Angelina, we're going to go over her final moments, the silence from the military leadership, as well as the chilling discovery in a wooded area. So Angelina was just 21 years old. She was bright, loyal, and kind, is what many of her family members does say. So she was a daughter, a sister, and a friend who checked in every day with her family members. Of course, since she was military, she made sure to give them clarity to know where she was, how she was doing, because that in itself is very worrisome for some family members. So her mother, whose name is Esmerelda, she had described her as a light in human form, and she was stationed at the largest naval base out there in Virginia. So on May the 29th of this year, she had vanished. And the people were meant to find her, didn't. So May the 29th at around 10 a.m., Angelina was last seen inside of her barracks. She was at the Miller Hall, okay, on base, and police say that on June the 3rd, just 5 days later, the Virginia State Police had finally issued a critical missing persons alert for her, okay? It took 5 days for them to do this. Her mother, Esmeralda, is already suspicious of that alone because she feels as though that the military wasn't transparent enough. And I must be honest with you guys, transparency is something that is lacked in all police organizations, okay? And they're basically trying to balance what to tell us, when to tell us, and how to tell us. Because they have to be aware of, for one thing, outsiders knowing too much, or insiders possibly using the information and making a false move a bit too quick, or a false move period. So many, police organizations, military organizations do struggle in investigations and try to discover when to tell us things, okay? Now, on June the 4th, they did, in between June the 4th and June the 5th, that is where her mother had decided to fly from Norfolk from Texas to Norfolk in an effort to discover, where her daughter can possibly be and search for her. Okay. She actually went to the Miller Hall herself, and what she found there was Angelina's fan still running, food to be untouched. Her yoga mat was still in place. There was no money withdrawn from her bank account since May the 29th, is what Esmerelda had told the police. She says, "My daughter would never just leave and not say anything. She's afraid of missing work. Something is wrong." So on June the 7th, Castle had sat down with the local media. She then demanded some answers, and she said that the NCIS had refused to tell her if they even had Esmeralda's cell phone at any time. So on June the 9th, at nightfall, a body was then discovered. And it was discovered in a wooded area behind a bowling elementary school, which is less than 3 miles away from the base. Hey, Divine, how are you? So police scanners had begun to go off, and local live streamers had begun to capture investigators removing a body from the tree area in the wooded, behind this elementary school. So on June the 10th at around 4 p.m., Esmeralda had then received an unofficial confirmation that her daughter's body had been located. Now, here's where it gets a little crazy. She didn't receive this call from NCIS. She received this call through staff and media. So basically, she received it how we received it. The media told her, which is kind of crazy and bizarre. So we have to ask ourselves, military, I get it that you guys are struggling in transparency, but this is her mother. This is not a friend. This is not a spouse. This is not a boyfriend. This is her mother. And she was not married. So this woman should have been given this information before the media. She shouldn't have been learning as we're learning, as live streamers are streaming her daughter's body being pulled from a wooded area. Now, she was never properly notified. Later that day, NCIS says, okay, the remains were found was Angelina. Now, when it comes to who was charged, as of right now, the other seller, he is currently on a pretrial confinement due to her murder. Okay, and they did confirm that a sailor that was assigned to the same ship as Angelina, which is the USS James E. Williams, has been detained. So weeks has passed with no name to be released. Now, they're saying that there was no name. Thank you, First Lady. There was no name of this said suspect. They didn't even know who he was. And then suddenly, because the mother said it first, the NCIS says, yes, it is actually Jermiah Copeland is our suspect as of right now. And he's also another U.S. Navy sailor. Now, he remains in this pretrial custody at the Naval Consolidated Brig in Chesapeake. There is no formal charges as of right now, but the government now has 120 days to arraign him and possibly pursue other general charges for him. They're waiting for the general court martial to, get this process rolling. Now, as you guys know, because this is two Navy sailors who are a part of this investigation is going to be handled a bit differently. This is going to be handled through the military, which means some information is not going to be given to us the same way as if it was would be given to us if it was a local authority or, some form of police department or something like that. Okay. So the information is going to be give or take, which also explains why it took so long for them to even give us their name of the suspect. And also let the mother know that her daughter's body was actually discovered. Thank you so much. I'm almost 40 and just don't feel the need to serve at this point. It's too much going on, and I have things I'm a part of that I'm a part of that I'm not ready to leave to take that on. I feel that ship has sailed. Yeah, so when it comes, I always tell people this all the time. Being military is something that you have to be ready for mentally, physically, and emotionally. This is not something that just impacts family. This is in you as a person. It affects many people, children and everything, spouses and significant others. It's not something that you can just jump into. And for those of you who do not know, when it comes to essaying in the military or domestic violence in the military or emotional abuse in the military, it's worse than what many people want to believe. In some statistics, it's actually higher than the national statistics within the military. When it comes to alcoholism, when it comes to domestic violence, when it comes to many things, those rates are higher than what people think. When it comes to essaying, those rates are higher than what many people think. I would not be surprised if when they complete her autopsy that there was some form of essay done here. And it's because many women are victimized while in the military, and it goes unseen, unheard, and covered up. Their voices are silenced. Now, they haven't really told us who this man is and what is his connection to her in any manner. Okay? So I don't know. Now, they were at the same naval base. Okay? So they crossed paths in some way. Don't know if this relationship was personal. Hey, Kawania, at any point in time. Don't know any of those types of things, and we possibly won't know until a few weeks from now, simply because the military is the primary investigators of this case. Okay? So her mother did read a letter in court, and she does not like how the process has went when it comes to her daughter. She says their actions wasn't a mistake. There was a betrayal of duty, of trust, and basic human decency. Do not release this person. My daughter is dead. Because of them, the judge agrees that Copeland stays in confinement because she feels failed. Okay? She feels failed because, for one thing, someone that is within the Navy did this. It's not a stranger. This is not a civilian. This is one of their own that did this. And then on the back end of that, the transparency is lacked in this. So she's blame her fingers are pointing at so many directions right now, which she has every right to be. Especially having to learn that your daughter's body was pulled out of the woods through the media and not being given a formal announcement from the investigators as she should in a respectful manner. It's like they were trying to ensure that information wasn't going to get out. And they didn't want us to know that there was a huge case within the Navy that went overlooked, unseen, and not properly investigated. And for all we know, she could have made reports, which that's going to have to be looked into. I wouldn't be surprised if she's made reports with the commanders and things of that nature and the lieutenants before we got here. I wouldn't be surprised. But because so many women are silenced when it comes to certain things, it went overlooked. It went overlooked. I wouldn't be surprised, guys, at all. I really wouldn't. Now, this case doesn't just stop at a simple homicide, okay? It's about the military that failed her as well. Angelina was marked AWOL for 6 days. How? If you don't know, every time a soldier goes somewhere, moves, take a vacation, go on a break, days off, all of that must be accounted for. Believe me, I know. I'm a military spouse. There is no going AWOL for 6 days with no questions answered and no phones being rang and no doors being knocked. They will come personally knock on your door if they cannot find you. When you even go on leave, you have to give a reason why you on leave, where you're going, what you're doing, things that there is no just disappearing, especially without notice. While staying on the base, that means that someone should have saw her within these 6 days. It's not like she's staying off base. She's on base. So there would have been no reason for her to be gone for 6 days while on base. No missing persons report that was filed by her command. If they were on their A game, the command would have been notifying the family because they would have been able to notify the family to say, hey, have you seen her? We have not seen her in this many hours, not days. Her family was informed by friends as well as the media, not the Navy. The NCIS wouldn't share details, even with her mother. So Esmerelda, in the League of the United States Latin American Citizens, also known as the LULAC, are helping, they're helping her and assisting her with this case as well. And they have a lot of questions that they want answered. Okay? The delayed action, no transparency, no compassion, and they're demanding a full investigation into the command failure, the notification procedures, sexual harassment reporting, military protections for women as well as minorities. Angelina's body was flown back to Texas with military honors, and her funeral will be held on June the 27th. Okay? Now, what they're looking for is full accountability to anyone who dropped the ball in this case, as well as policy reform and protection for every woman that is in uniform. And this is something that has been highly debated for years within the military. Many women leave the military scarred. Many of them leave the military with trauma, and it did not come from war. And it's something that is known but is unspoken about. Not as many voices that we need is out there speaking loud and proud about the abuse in the essay, harassment and things of that nature that go on with women that are in service. It's not being talked about enough. It's not as many voices that they need. They dropped the ball big time, Miss Dolores. Big time. Big time. And I don't know what the holdup is, because these are women who are given their everyday lives. Many of them are leaving their children and their families behind to serve this country. And they deserve they deserve the same amount of protection as anyone else. Okay? They don't deserve to be putting on to our uniforms, serving our country, and being victimized and murdered while in uniform. I'm seeing over and over again. We just covered a case of a soldier being killed on base. Domestic violence issues. The statistics of domestic violence within uniform officers is crazy. The statistics are higher in the military than it is across the nation. Divorce percentages in the military is higher than it is across the nation. A lot of people don't want to talk about that, though. And as a military spouse, I can talk about it. They don't take mental health seriously. Within our officers, within our soldiers, within the spouses, within the children, they don't take a lot of that serious. There's so many military soldiers and military spouses that attempt to go to seek help from the military and they do not receive it. There's many military spouses that is left to suffer due to the repercussions that is caused by the military just to get no support. But nobody wants to talk about it. But month after month, day after day, we're seeing murder, essaying, harassment, domestic violence right on our bases that everybody is walking around acting as if it does not exist, and it does. And I guarantee you, when they continue with this investigation, they're going to see that she possibly was putting in sexual harassment reports that were being overlooked because it happens every day with men and women in uniform. Every day. So how do you guys, especially when we're living in a day where war is being said every day that we wake up, how do you guys expect for our soldiers to be armed and strong mentally when they're being beat up, harassed, and abused at base, at the forefront? How do y'all expect that to happen? How? Because we know that when soldiers are dealing with abuse at home, mental abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, that impacts our protections in America because they're mentally broken, emotionally broken, physically broken. They're broken. But we're going to put them on the front lines to protect the nation. That goes crazy. And then when something happens, you guys are in a pickle about how to inform the parents, how to inform the spouses, how to inform the siblings, because you guys are afraid to say that you dropped the ball on an issue that is loud but quiet enough to where civilians don't know. My dad told me stories about what happened and what he saw. Yeah, it's a lot. A lot of people that have served, they know. A lot of spouses that they don't serve, but they feel the impact of what the military left behind. They can tell you stories. They can tell you stories. And like I tell my husband all the time, I didn't sign the dotted line. But the worry and the stress that comes with it, I guarantee you feel it as if you did, if you are a significant other. You feel it. Hey, Miss Wet, you feel it. Okay? Soldiers are dealing with other soldiers doing stuff to themselves because of the weight that is on their shoulders. Okay? Because of the weight that is on their shoulders that nobody wants to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about it. Shh, be quiet. Be quiet. Let's act like it doesn't exist. But yet, let's put them in boots and have them serve and protect us. Okay? It's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. So, if any updates, I'm worried about my brothers all the time. I'm glad, yeah. Listen, I'm glad it's over for my husband too. He did 26 years. Okay? 26. And I'm going to tell you something. Even through all the pain that they go through in the boots, when they drop them boots off, it's still pain there. The pain don't leave when they drop the boots. The pain is still there even when the boots is taken. When the boots is off, the pain is still sitting there. The thoughts are still sitting there. Even after my husband has been retired almost 3 years. Okay? He's lost 2 soldiers, and it wasn't to murder. They did it to themselves. So even after the boots is off, the struggle don't stop. Even after the boots is off, you never know when a phone call is going to come through. You never know when you're going to lose someone. Well, shoot, right now, we have a whole military veteran trained as a ranger who has been gone running this country right now on a manhunt after killing 3 of his children. He killed them, put bags over their head and zip ties around their wrist. He had just been diagnosed with multiple personality disorder. He was homeless. Okay? And a judge decided that he was still okay to get 3-hour visits after the mother had already told them that this man is not mentally stable. She had dropped him off earlier that day. By that night, her 3 daughters, all 3, was deceased. That man is still in the loose right now. But because he's a trained ranger, he knows how to survive borderline personality disorder. Thank you. He knows how to survive in the wilderness. He knows how to survive in the woods. They don't know where that man is. He's still walking around somewhere right now. Right now. And they can't find him. Military veteran. Was still in when he did this. He was about to get kicked out for AWOL because he wasn't going to trainings. Some point in time, the military has to wake up and realize, get a hold of you guys' mental health in you guys' organization. There should be some form of mandatory therapies for your soldiers because they go through a lot, they see a lot, they experience a lot. And take essaying and essay harassment very seriously. Iraq. My husband served in Iraq. Army. Yeah, he's an Iraqi soldier. But get it together. You guys need to get it together. Get it together, and I mean get it together real bad. Real bad. Please, real bad. Okay? Thank you guys for the gifts. But yeah. Thank you, RoyalT. I tell my husband all the time. He owed me. He's in debt to me for what I had to go through, okay? Listen, he's in, y'all, listen, this is just transparency, okay? Military, if you married, and I always have sisters that say, I want a military man all the time. They always say it. I want a military man, Savvy. And I always say, no, you don't. Don't ask for that. Don't ask for that. Don't ask for that, y'all. Okay? If you are not, why not? Why did you say why not, Lex? Say that, sister. For real, Miss Dolores. No, you don't. Exactly. You don't. If you are a woman that requires a lot of time, a lot of attention, a lot of one-on-one, a lot of hands-on with, if you need a companion there with you day in and day out, don't ask for that. Okay? If you are looking for a man that is going to always be available to you when you need them, don't look for that. Okay? If you need a man that's going to be there with you for the kids when he come home at night and he give you a little break, don't look for that. Okay? If you looking for, you want to stay in one state, but you got a nice career there. Okay? It's only a time before the military say, let's go. You got to go. I've moved every 3 years of my life for the last almost 19 years. Okay? I'm still adjusting to being able, and I'm not afraid to get comfortable. It's just something that has been left on us to where we're starting to accept the fact that we don't have orders coming down. It took me 2 years to replace a couch because I just thought orders was going to come. Okay? So it takes a lot. All right. It takes a lot. And while you did not sign And it's a mental thing as well, to play with your mental. We are blessed. This marriage here all ain't almost make it. Cause the military just put a weight on us, y'all. It did at one point. That's, and y'all know I like to be transparent. It put a weight. It did. Because it was me. I had a career going. I had just finished my bachelor's, just had my baby, and I had to stop it all because the military came knocking. So my career gets on a pause. You stop. His career is, pum, you go. And we didn't want to separate, of course, because I have a newborn and my baby was about 1 when we got our orders to leave. And ever since then, we had to leave every 3 years after that. So my daughter is a hard-earned military brat. She was born in one place, but she was raised in another, then moved again 3 years later, then moved again 3 years later. Meanwhile, my career is impacted. I had to stop my career, okay? I had already been getting my career started, working in executive protection. I had to put a pause on my stuff because the military calling me every 3 years. And when you working in executive protection, that don't look right. When you all, so that's why I'm going back to school now, because in his mind, you sat here with me through my stuff and got me through, because he was going to get out for me. Because it was just a lot for me. I couldn't take it no more. And I told him, no, don't stop. We too deep in. Don't quit. So I put myself through it because I didn't want to stop him from his goals and what he wanted to do while my stuff was being placed on the back burner. So I put my stuff on hold and I failed into his. And so now he feeding into mine. And so now I'm going into getting my doctorates and everything that I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And everything and I've always had my own thing. That's true love, right? I've never 100% depended on him. He's like, you can just stay home and be a stay-at-home mother. Do I look like the stay-at-home mother to you? Do I give? So I could have literally stayed home and, cooked and cleaned and, be a homemaker. And I could have did that. I could have had that, y'all. But I am too much of a hustler. I'm too much of a grinder. I'm too much of a woman in her own. I'm too, I love what you do. I love that you provide, but I need my own too. I need my own stuff. I need my own thing. I'm tired of following you around. I'm tired of, I'm tired of that. I want to do my own stuff. I want my own goals. I want my own this and my own that. Stay at home. No, I ain't no stay at home type of girl. Yo, I'm sorry. I'm not the stay at home type of girl where I can stay at home and wait for you to come and, be a homemaker. I'm not her. It ain't given that. Okay. It's given, I want to start an empire. Let's start a business. What can I create today? Let's turn this to 10,000 into 100. I'm that. I don't want to sit up here and wait for you. I don't want So, yeah, so being in the military, y'all, it tries everybody in position. It tries everybody. It tried my daughter. She's used to it though, child. That child trying to leave us. She want to get out of here as soon as she turned 18. That's how the military impacted her. She's planning on leaving the country. I have spent the last 6 years trying to convince her that you're not leaving this country without me, ma'am. What are you doing? Like, she's trying to literally graduate high school. She starts college in 10th grade, so she's going to be high school and college at the same time. And then she wants to finish the rest in Paris. I'm like, what's over there? Like, what is over there that you're searching for? Like, what is, and she's been hard earned on this plan right here, y'all, of Paris. I don't know what's over there that she's looking for. I don't know what she sees. Yeah, she ready to go, Miss Dolores. I don't know what she see over there, but this has always been her goal. I don't know what the child has Paris t-shirts and Paris blankets and Paris lights, the Eiffel Tower or whatever. Then she ordered some Paris snacks, and I'm like, it was some bread that she had learned that people eat in Paris. She went and ordered it. Are you British and I don't know it? Like, what did they give me the wrong baby? Cause what you doing? Like, what? Is this mine? Cause this one ain't it. This you was raised in you was raised in it was what you doing? Like, oh yeah, yes, she wants to go to Paris. Let me tell y'all before we get out of here. Back to the military. It was so bad when she was about 8. This is how foolish her dad is. She convinced him. I don't know how an 8-year-old did this. To put because they give you a list in the military of places that you would have no problem in wanting to go. She convinced her dad to put Paris on the list. So you let an 8-year-old convince you to request to relocate to Paris because that's her dream place. And you actually, well, she told me that she said she always wanted to go. She's an 8, sir. What about your wife? You didn't come through me. Well, I put yours on there. You told me where you wanted to go. I put yours there too. And I put one for her. And I told him, you go there, you're going by yourself. Because I'm not leaving this country. I'm not, I'm not going there. So yeah, the military is something that you just don't ask for nothing that you ain't ready for. Okay? He put both. That's fair. Letting an 8-year-old convince you to leave a country, THC, is not fair. She was 8. She's going over there for one thing, the Eiffel Tower, or whatever that's called, Eiffel Tower, and some bread that she said is known to be over there. That's her reasoning. So if she was to ask, why did you move to Paris? Well, for the Eiffel Tower and some bread. No. The world? No. So, yeah, military, y'all, is just one of those things. They need to get it together, honestly and truly. I'm still waiting for bro to call me, Dolores. Who calling you? What y'all talking about? What y'all talking about? All right, y'all, I'm about to get ready to get out of here. Well, y'all, it looked like we back in the docks again. Yesterday, we've been talking about Diddy and his dogs. Okay? We talked about Uncle Shay Shay and his lawsuit. Yesterday, we talked about R. Kelly and his. Today, Fat Joe, $20 million lawsuit. Accused of getting a 15-year-old girl a BBL. We're going to get into those docs today on Bigo. Okay? Make sure that you guys definitely tune in. All right? Tune in. And thank you guys so much. And thank you so much for tuning in to True Crime with Savage Royalty. I appreciate you guys a lot.